Fear. So we're talking about a big one today, aren't we? So let's kick this straight off. Jasmine, what does fear mean to you?
Oh, fear is that feeling you get in your stomach when it's just like that awful sort of pit in your stomach. I can't really explain it.
I think everybody knows what that feels like, though.
Yeah, exactly. When you think, oh no, you know, that feeling, it's like, oh no, dread.
Yeah.
Dread. I feel like we've spoken about that before. We have, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We have
Yeah,
talked about
that's why. Yeah,
fear and
dread.
dread before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fear and dread. They
because
come.
it's
They kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
yeah, and I mean, I think it's interesting because I always think fear can come in so many different guises. So fear to me is a lot of things. It's worry, like just a small worry you might have. That's fear based, isn't it? Because you're worried about what might happen. So that's fear. It's
Yeah.
anxiety because that is rooted in fear, and chronic anxiety is,
Oh,
you know, a repetition of that fearful thought that you're just perpetuating, and it's causing you to have, you know,
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
momentum
yeah,
that
yeah.
causes the chronic nature. But paranoia, that's fear as well. So when you're actually, so it's an extreme form of fear, but it's actually when you're completely convinced that everything's against you.
Well, it's like,
That's
yeah.
fear based as well.
So, oh, it's all fear based. So the
Mm,
underlying emotion of all of those is fear.
it's fear.
That's
Yes.
interesting, isn't it? And
Yeah.
sometimes you can have all of them, or maybe just one of them.
Yeah. And I think you actually highlighted one of the easiest ways to identify fear as opposed to any other emotion. It just makes you feel dreadful.
Yeah, yeah. And it's for me, it's normally in my stomach.
Yeah,
I
me
feel
too.
it. Do you feel it as well? I don't know. Maybe everybody does. I'm not sure. But
Well, it's interesting. Some of the experiences I've had, especially with some clients, they've said it's head. They get headaches when they're stressed,
oh,
and so the fear and the worry and all of that
oh,
overload
okay, okay, okay,
into their head.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I think a lot of people, it goes to their guts because, again, they say, isn't they? They say that the gut is another center of the body,
Of
so
course.
that's where we
Second
feel
brain.
our intuition.
Oh yeah,
So
second brain. That's why it's the second brain. Yeah.
yeah, but if you feel something intuitively in your gut, so we say follow your gut, follow your instinct.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have the polar opposite in the same spot. So you feel like guided to do something because your gut's telling you to do that, and you know you
Mm.
follow that intuition. But also, if you've got fearful thoughts where it's kind of negative, that's taking you in a different direction, but actually
Yeah.
same spot where you feel it.
But sometimes, like I realized, you know, sometimes that fear in your stomach, it can be a trigger to something that happened in the past, can't it? It might not
Yeah,
be about what's going on now. It's just something's triggered you for when you felt that fear years ago, which is
yeah.
crazy. Absolutely. That blows my mind. That does. You
Well,
know, if
there's
you haven't,
there's a quote actually in A Course of Miracles which says, "Fear is not in the present; it's always in the past and the future,"
mm,
which doesn't exist. By the way, that's what it says in the quote, which doesn't exist. So the past's gone, so it doesn't exist anymore, and the
yeah.
future, that doesn't exist. So you've always got now. So yeah, the fearful thought is usually before or after now. It's
But you
quite
could
crazy
still
when you
be
start.
feeling, but you could still be feeling the fear
Oh yeah,
now.
you still feel it, but the actual cause, the root of the
Oh yeah, the
fear,
roots.
is
Yeah, yeah,
always in the future. Or
yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, of
and
course.
so one of the lovely affirmations I would recommend everybody to say is, everything's all right now,
Mm.
because that grounds you in the now, in the present, and that's when you can like recalibrate and get the balance back in your
Yeah,
in
and
your mind and
I don't know
body.
why. I'm just thinking of the famous quote: "Feel the fear and do it anyway."
Yeah, well, that's the Susan Jeffers book, isn't it? But that's it, and that's a good way to conquer fear, or to at least face it. Because I
Mm.
had an interesting discussion on LinkedIn this morning. We said that when you do face your fears and something good comes from it, you feel elated, you feel amazed,
Mm.
because
Proud of yourself. You feel proud of yourself,
yeah, you
don't
do.
you?
You feel
Yeah,
extremely
yeah,
proud of
yeah,
yourself, and it encourages you to then go on and do more.
yeah.
So
Like you said, there's different, yeah, different. Obviously, there's so many different types of fear. But like, if you have a fear that's associated with something that happened in the past, that's obviously different to a fear that's you're dreading something that's going to happen in the future. I mean,
yes, yes.
it's
Yeah. But it's recognizing the triggers, isn't it? So knowing what it is that's triggering that fear for you.
Exactly. And that's when it's
yeah.
about processing, acknowledging, feeling, and getting information from them.
Yeah.
Being aware of, of your feelings.
And it's interesting, we were talking earlier about the fact that so many people we've been in contact with recently, their fear is doing live videos online on social media.
And I'm like,
and
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're like, well, you know, because we've done so many, but one of the things that I recognize is when you've done a live, you do still feel great afterwards, because, you know, it's getting your message out, but it's also, you know, it's facing a fear, albeit a smaller one, every single time.
Of course, because you give away a bit more of yourself each time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So listen, if anybody wants to join us, we're going to go live on LinkedIn. We're on my feed this week. Just join using the link in my bio or in Jasmine's bio. You can find us there. Join us on a Monday, and it's 1:30 British summer time and
4:30 Dubai time. Come over and ask us some questions and join in.
Yeah,
We love hearing your perspective as well. Yeah.
Yeah. See you then.
See you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.